Hey everyone, welcome back to this Making the Movement video here at the OurSociety Experiment. I hope you guys are cool with kind of a working vlog this week. It's 10/19. It's about a little over 2 weeks from the elections, from the big kind of the November elections here in New Jersey. So every waking moment at this point is just trying to catch up with candidates, follow up the letters. There's still time to get people online. And telling people about the platform. So what I'm going to be doing while I'm talking with you, and I hope it's cool if we just kind of brain out. I've been thinking a lot about the experiment. I've been thinking a lot about just the process and where we are and kind of what we've accomplished so far, and you know, some positives and negatives. So yeah, you know, with that said, I'm just going to get to work and kind of talk to you. So it's you know, we've been doing this outreach via Facebook, and what's really interesting is that we sent all these letters, sent 2,164 letters out to every candidate who's running for office, and letters typically have a very low turnout, right? We got some people who were interested, but overall, letters in general, direct to mail, I believe it has like a 1% response rate, and I think our response rate was above 1%, but actually maybe not. That doesn't make any sense. We sent out 2,164, we would have had to get like 1% of that would be 21 candidates, so you know, and approximately, so we didn't get that from the letters, but the Facebook outreach, like just pinging people online, has worked. What I found super fascinating about this process is that the vast majority, and I don't have any stats to give you, I can tell you like where we are now, but I don't want to put it out there. I kind of tell people, you know, in casual conversations, but until we have actual data, I don't want to put it out there, but I can say that with full confidence so far, you know, approximately 85 to 90%, I don't know the exact number, of the people that we are messaging, who are local candidates running for office in New Jersey, don't have any internet presence, like no website about their candidacy, no Facebook page. So what I've literally been doing is just pinging people on Facebook from my personal Facebook, just reaching out to them with like a quick, you know, 3-sentence kind of thing. Hey, I'm following up on the letter. But it's really fascinating to me that in this day and age, in 2018, people are running campaigns without, you know, having any sort of online presence. I mean, it really reaffirms the purpose of our society, but at the same time magnifies some of the, I think, you know, subconscious resistance to it. I mean, you know, it's this weird dichotomy of you know, you know that you have to knock on doors, you have to campaign, you have to do this like traditional thing. You talk to anyone in the political sphere, it's always the same thing, right? It's like, you gotta knock on doors, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. So like X, Y, and Z, it's like this playbook. And yet, the millennial demographic and the Gen Z demographic are not voting, they're not participating. And it's really, with our society, our argument is that it's because we are not presenting the information in a way that resonates with them. Just got another candidate who messaged me on Facebook, so I'm excited about that. And you know, it's kind of like, I want to know what's going to have to change. It's kind of like what our society is this kind of experiment, like, can we do this a different way? And we have a couple hundred users, which is great. Not near, you know, where we were with our goal, but at the end of the day, you know, we ran out of money on our runway, so we're just doing what we can through our social media posts and you know, statewide activism. But really interesting, and it's like, you know, we complain that millennials and Gen Z don't participate, but then again, we're not communicating in a way that resonates with them. I always joke about like door knocking. Door knocking is so important, right? You get to know people, and by the way, this is coming from candidates who I trust, candidates on the OurSociety platform who are doing good things and are likely going to win their elections. And so I understand that value, right? Like getting to know people, but there's a whole other swath of people that we're really just not kind of bringing into the fold, and that's really what our society seeks to do. But it is interesting, you know, there's been candidates who, you know, I would expect that people kind of would ignore the project to some extent. That makes sense. But then there's candidates who are aware, they've received the letter, we talk to them, and they still say no, which I find really fascinating. Why wouldn't you invest? It takes all like 10-15 minutes to onboard, and we even tell people that. So it's, you know, why would you not invest 15 minutes to kind of, you know, expand your access to people, expand your access to your constituency, and really give them more access to you. And I find it really fascinating for the candidates. And of course, that's their prerogative. We're not going to name any names. But really, really interesting that people would refuse to be on the platform. But, it just goes to show they probably don't understand the value of what we're doing. So I found that really interesting. Overall, I'm kind of in the phase now where we're at. I mean, we're just kind of grinding at this point. We just have to, every waking second of my time is really just spent on Facebook messaging people if I can get a spare minute or two in at work, or if I can get extra 10 minutes here or there. While at the same time, of course, right, creating content, writing, for the blog, and doing a lot of these kind of efforts to keep our society in the public space and keep our vision, of a transformative society, a systemic reformation present, front and center. So it's really interesting that this whole process has been such a learning experience, and I'm excited to write the impact report. I really am. We want to think about like the best way we're going to kind of deliver that information, talk about our successes, talk about our failures, talk about what we learned, right, what we can improve on. There's so much potential and so much room for improvement with the OurSociety Experiment and kind of what we're doing. So I find that to be very exciting, in that like there's so much we can do beyond what we've done. And I think an impact report, and then really building a strong team. We are a volunteer team, as everyone knows, but we really need a stronger team in terms of participants to kind of help, be involved in the process. I just Googled the case. There's no Facebook page, no website about his candidacy. I did find his LinkedIn, which is interesting, but you can't message people on LinkedIn unless you pay for it, which I'm not going to do. So anyway, that's just another person can't reach. Shocker. So yeah, just kind of going about this, and you really just making a genuine effort. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, that's how where I'm coming from on a personal note. I mean, this is an OurSociety vlog, but you've seen my face for the last year and a half of this project. I'm coming at this as a big victory. It's unlikely that we'll blow it out of the water in terms of new signups in the next 15, 16 days, just because we don't have the capital to do that, and our efforts are limited by time, right? Like it's something that I dedicate a lot of time to, but still need to work up in my my actual employment, and so that makes it challenging to. Oh, this might be one. Nope. So that makes it challenging. So overall, though, I think it's been a really good effort. I think we've accomplished a lot. We kind of got a lot out there. We got the name of our site out there, and I think we've met a lot of incredible people along the way. And that kind of brings us to like what's the next steps, and that I'm just gonna I'm gonna save. I'm not gonna drop anything just yet. I have a number of kind of potential visions, potential alternative directions we're gonna go on. Obviously, we want to scale the platform and acquire funding for that. But there's a lot of opportunity in a lot of different directions. Our society is really, it's about systemic transformation. That's been the whole point. And systemic transformation works in a number of ways. The free and open election campaign platform is just one brick in that foundation. So there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of ways to kind of go about this. And I can certainly say that the experience for me has made me a better person, without a doubt. I am just as excited, really more excited now than I've ever been. And it's been, a year and a half of grinding. I mean, this is like when you start up any business. It's just like a grind. Except this isn't a business, it's a nonprofit service that we want to give people for free, right? So it's even, the path, there is a path to revenue, obviously, in the long term, so it can self-sustain, but it's really not at all what we've been doing. So it's just been a lot of work, a lot of, personal expenditures, but, it's been great. It's really great. And, for those of you who've been tuning into our YouTube vlogs, and, there's not many of you, but it really means a lot to myself and the rest of the volunteers here, because we know what we're doing has purpose. We know what we're doing is the right thing. This is time well spent. Right? This is time changing society for the better, and it's going to be a grind. Nothing is easy. All visionary change is implemented piecemeal. Let's never forget that. So many of us want instantaneous gratification, instantaneous shifts in the paradigms, but that's never the case. but a statement of vision, a vision of the future is really critical to this, and kind of being able to break it down in a piecemeal kind of step. So I believe in the future our society will be a true catalyst in whatever form we manifest of that change, and I'm excited to dedicate a serious portion of my life to making that happen. So on that note, guys, I will wrap it up for the night. I want to get back and just focus on this. I got into talking to you guys, but thanks so much as always for tuning into the OurSociety Experiment. We will catch you next week. And then, it's it. If you haven't already, one final request, sign up for our site or tell someone about our site. Let's get people on this platform. The more people we have, the better case we make for our impact report, and the better case we make for really scaling this platform into something that is very attractive to candidates on a functionality term. And then that way kind of drawing all the candidates, and therefore using our money to kind of draw citizens in through advertising and just letting them know about what we're offering. So have a great night, guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week on this Making the Movement.